St Mary's is Norfolk's only school, really, secondary school. Isn't it? Because Cooper's Orchard, it was, and William G was classed as West Hill.
Yeah.
So, but Norfolkers couldn't go to that school because it was Catholic only, wasn't it?
Fucking good, they couldn't.
Yeah.
Fucking good. I think my estate experience was quite different because of the school that I went to. So, like, I went to Ensley Primary, which is a Catholic school on Inglemeyer. And then I went to St Mary's, which is obviously another Catholic school. So, like, this is when I started getting introduced to different areas where I feel like a lot of people on Norfolk only had mates on their own area.
Yeah.
Like I did have mates on Norfolk, but I think I'd be exposed to more of the kids on Norfolk if I went to school with them. Say if I went to Cooper, or even if I went to your school, I went to school with kids from Westhill and Easthill, and I went round their own areas to lark out. Do you know what I'm saying?
When you said, do you know once you went to secondary school and you started going up like Westhill and stuff?
Yeah.
So like I stayed like around Long Hill, but when I went to Andrew Marvell, that's when I started like going up Preston Road, Greatfield, Bilton Grange, and Oldness Road as well. Cause I used to play footy when I was younger, and I had loads of mates who went to David Lister, so I'd hang up like Oldness Road a lot as well. Sometimes I'd twag my school. I'd go to David Lister if they had a supply teacher, and I'd go sit in their classes.
We did that. We did that a couple of times.
Did you do that, Stella?
Yeah, we used to do that with Greatfield. Like if you had mates on Greatfield.
That's dangerous. That.
But
going to someone else's secondary school.
Stella, did your estate life have an effect on your education or school?
I don't think it did. Not for me personally.
Your social life when you was at school, did you ever leave your estate?
No, we just so Archie was on like Oakwell Road, and on a dinner we just used to sit on little shops where there was I think it was Brian's, that bakery. I don't know if you remember.
I remember that. Yeah.
And there was a rumour going around that he'd murdered his wife and
I didn't know that.
I love them rumours.
Brian had murdered his wife and put her in a pie, and we used to go in and be like,
and eating.
I love that.
We used to go in and go, Brian, can I have half a pound of Gloria, please? And he'd chase you out the shop because Gloria was his wife, but I think she died of like natural causes. So obviously that had like, obviously as being kids, we didn't know.
But your school was far from where you lived though, wasn't it? Or was it not?
No, it's not that far. It's like 5-minute walk.
Oh, really?
Where was Lister? I can't remember where Lister was. It's gone now, isn't it?
Like down Rustenburg Street, off like...
But in it off-road though?
Off Newbridge Road.
Oh, off Newbridge
Was that completely gone, that? Was it?
Yeah, it's like a housing estate now.
So, like, generally, like, what about you? Did your estate life affect your school? Like, because I always think, like, when you go... The reason why I ask this question, I always feel like if you live on an estate and if you live on an estate and your school's on the estate, does any dramas from the night before get dragged into school? Do you know what I mean?
Mate.
Like,
yeah.
I think it
like,
was...
you called me a silly cunt last night outside shop. What are you saying now?
Yeah, it'd go on for weeks as well, not just one day.
Not for me, because when I
think Lenny was just an hard cunt, wasn't he?
Not for me, yeah. No trouble whatsoever.
That traveller story, mate.
I can't remember
where are you been?
That's incredible.
No, because when I was knocking about in Ezel, it's because I went to Ezel. So like when I said about me going from different estate to estate, the main part is like from 12 to 16, because I was like going into Ezel and I was going to Ezel school. Obviously, I got with my missus at a young age as well. She went to the same school.
All right.
So, like, we'd walk up the road to school. We'd go home from school, and then it was just straight back into Ezel. So we'd just have, like, a big group of us. But I think it works in, like, everybody goes through phases, don't they? Like, when you're growing up, you go through, like, a phase of getting stoned, or you go through a phase of, like, sitting in park and drinking every weekend.
Yeah.
I think that when I was knocking about in Ezel, it was like, we'd just go into Ezel. Everybody would get stoned. They'd go up to school. Everybody gets stoned at school, we'll come back down, and it just that same pattern until the next phase come along when you left school, and it was like everybody wanted to be a bad man, get out drinking and fucking pinching and doing all the rest of it. So I don't think it changed for me.
So like this is like an open question, like what was school like for all you lot?
I thought it was a laugh movie.
I loved it.
I loved it. I loved it, man. Some of my best
days.
Yeah, best days are from school.
I'd love to go back just for even half a day, just a morning.
I hated it.
I hated it.
Like you had like a bit of your adventure was weird because obviously you joined into a different school, didn't you?
Yeah, so I went to an all boys school, and for the full 5 years it was in special measures.
Special measures, yeah.
So like the amount of supply teachers, well, we knew when supply teachers get apps. They don't teach, do they? You get a word search. They're forgetting like history.
You're
giving like a word search. It's like if you could find Hitler's name, like you're learning history or something. It was fucking bonkers. It was like mad because we had a lot of like. It wasn't just our estate though. We had like brand owners come to William G.
All right.
Orchard Park lot came to William G.
Yeah. But
for me, it was like going back to what you said. Like when I was at 5th primary school, like and I suppose being young, like having a scrap at primary school is different, isn't it? Then when you go to secondary school, everyone looks like adults, and the fights that you see year 11s having at year 7 are quite scary.
Yeah.
But there's one teacher, mate, like. There was a kid in my year 7, called Chris McSherry.
Yeah,
it was like an animal he was, you know.
Yeah,
didn't get the respect.
It's mad because even I didn't go to your primary school, but he was one of the guys that
no one respected him, but like he could look after himself. Yeah. He had a fight with a kid who was like remember cock of the school, cock of another primary, and this English teacher, mate, just watched it.
Did he?
Not for a long time,
but
enough to scare you.
Yeah.
Because when you kind of feel safe fighting at school, don't you? Because you're thinking maybe 20 seconds max.
Yeah.
Before it's over, and he turned up. He walked real casual, just kind of stood and watched for must have been 10 seconds, and it freaked me out.
Yeah.
It really freaked me out. It's like a young boys' prison. It was.
Mate, fucking Lister, there was a fight every break.
Oh,
if they want a fight, then there was something wrong.
The worst thing that I hated, sorry mate, was when you knew you was having a fight the next day.
Oh,
or after school.
Like there was always like someone would come to you and say, "I think it was a fight we had, great time," and you're like, "You've got to go." Fair enough. Yeah. You're just fucking popping.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than knowing you're about to fight because you start playing out in your head. You're gonna fucking. It never goes like that.
It never goes like
ever.
You just meet in the middle and you're just like.
It's fucking like for 4 years I was at an all boys school and we just mixed with Amy Johnson and moved building. To a new school. Like it was the first time we had girls in our school, so all these kids I spent 4 years with started splashing Jew porn and fucking gelling their hair, and it was just like crazy, man. It was mad because at that age as well, 16, you know, like what you're about. So yeah, that was an experience. But yeah, I hated it, mate.
Did you?
I couldn't stand it. Yeah.
Why?
Because like
I thought it'd be a lot. Like to me, William G. To me, no offense, your school. I know Ezel was all right. Marvel, I know that was a bit of a shithole, and I know Archie was as well. To me, I always and like I know I'm being disrespectful to schools, but schools like fucking Winnie as well, and like obviously you joined with Amy Johnson, school, like Newland Girls, like just shit schools. No offense, like there was then. I can't say what they're like now. I can speak for Marvel because I worked there. It's a good school, but. They all just sounded like youth clubs to me.
Yeah, but there was youth clubs.
Yeah.
So youth clubs weren't great places to be. Monday to Friday, man.
But I thought you just like it. Like
no, you have a laugh in that there, but like you're still at school, aren't you?
Yeah.
There's so many word searches you can do, mate. Do you know what I mean? It was just like sometimes you have a teacher come and just let you in a classroom for an hour
and just disappear.
And it just disappear because he wants you off the corridor. I was like, yeah, it's good day 1, but when you're doing it for like the 35th time in year 7, it's quite boring. It's horrible. Like I never forget. You know, Fudge, you had a fight once in a class. It must have gone on for about 15 minutes with no teacher. Then it just kind of ended and put all the tables back and sat down. Black-eyed, fucking shirt ripped.
Yeah.
And it was just dangerous. When you think about it, it was horrible.
I loved Mary's.
Yeah, but you got taught at Mary's.
We did to a certain extent, but not really me and my guys. Like, we were fuckers, though. Like, we're going to be realistic. Probably not to the extent as what William G was like, or like a Cooper, or your school, like fucking, mate, your school had that TV program.
Mate,
and that.
I had security guards, man. I swear, like
you couldn't get
classroom cops.
Like, so like it was just a laugh. Like, but I'm glad I went to my school because I do feel what I would have been like if I went to your William G's, your fucking Marvels in them days, your fucking man, like.
But only 9 people.
What? People forget what your school's called.
David
Lister. How can I forget? Yeah, David Lister.
Pramland. They called David Lister
Did they call
Pramland.
Pramland?
I thought that was
that
Newland Girls' School.
Newland Girls was bad. Did you ever used to bike through Newland Girls, like, because it's right near the uni? You could bike. The girls used to go crazy, mate. I was scared. I was actually scared because obviously they don't see boys, mate. They were fucking loonies.
No, but that's where, like, because I went to like an all-boys school.
Yeah.
So Newland Girls was like kind of where we went.
Yeah.
And when we didn't have work experience at our school, but we had 2 weeks off. So all of us just went to Newland Girls School field and chilled out there.
You didn't have work experience.
They didn't send us anywhere, so they stuck coming for 2 weeks. But obviously our parents off the estate are like, you're not staying home. Get out.
I had work experience.
So we all got sent to we all went on Newland Girls School field and chilled there. That's what we did. Well, just that's where you go to meet your mates because we went to the boys' school.
Did you like school then? You didn't, did you?
I fucking hated it.
Why?
I was just like, because all the lads that I knocked about with, it was all like in the upper sets.
Oh, right.
So like I was with none of my mates in any of my classes, and because I went with them, I was just a little cunt. So like I just get kicked out and end up in detention or end up getting sent home, and then the only good parts was like when you go on to break or you go on your dinner.
Yeah, go on your dinner.
But because at that time everyone was still getting stoned and I didn't smoke, so it was like they'd all be off in the bushes and I'd be sat on my own eating my tuna and my potato and that on dinner.
Yeah.
Everyone would be getting stoned and I'd be like, right, now what to do?
Yeah, I think that's when I experimented in but it was resin then. Doing shotties and that. I ain't bothered to admit this, man. He was a twat for doing it, but a kid I know called Liam Casey, he put the filter of a cig in a shotty pipe. And he just covered it. He covered it with a bit of resin. And I'm there trying to pop this shotty. And I'm like,
never happening. And
I'm like, what's going on? And there's Sam Wainwright and Liam laughing their heads off. And I'm like, what they're laughing at? Why are they laughing? And they're like, when they took the filter out, it had gone about to that much, mate. Oh, that nicotine, mate, that I've just took, mate. Oh, mate, I remember that. I was in West Park, in a bush in West Park. That I was mad. But yeah, they're I think I did my GCSE stoned.
Yeah, did he come out? Did he get GCSE?
No. I only got one GCSE. I did in PE, but I was in all the bottom set. I was in all the bottom sets anyway, though. I didn't take. For me, school was like a youth club for me. I used to just go to fuck about with my mates, and that's it.
Well, there's some people Dyson were deaf to get home.
Don't you remember there used to be a gang called the Station Lot?
Was there really?
There was a gang called the Station. People in the comments, if you remember the Station Lot, Digger, a kid called Digger. There was a few of them, mate. There was loads of them. The Station Lot, mate. Just infamous knocking people out in the station.